CBS News has learned Judge Amy Coney Barrett, one of President Trump's leading contenders to fill Justice Ginsburg's Supreme Court seat, visited the White House for a second time yesterday. So Ben Tracy is following all of this for us and joins us now. Ben, what do we know about this White House visit and about this potential nominee?
Well, it's notable for a couple of reasons. This was the second day in a row that Amy Coney Barrett came here to the White House. We're told, we believe that she was here to fill out paperwork and not necessarily to meet with the president. She met with him in person on Monday, and that's notable because, to our knowledge, she is the only candidate who has actually met with the president face-to-face. In terms of what we know about her, she is considered the front runner in this race right now. Here at the White House, people are telling us that. On Capitol Hill, people are telling us that, and it seems like she's the front runner by a wide margin. But in terms of her background, she's 48 years old. She's an appeals court justice. She's a favorite of conservatives because she's Catholic and has very strong anti-abortion views. And she's also apparently a favorite of Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who says that people on Capitol Hill are familiar with her because she's been through this process before. She was also vetted by the White House just a couple of years ago when Anthony Kennedy's seat came open. So there's a comfort level with her amongst Republicans, and a lot of them are pushing President Trump in that direction.
The president, Ben, is expected to make his official nomination announcement on Saturday evening. Is there a strategy behind that timing?
If there is, you would call it the ASAP strategy. The president basically said that he wanted to wait until all the services for Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg were completed. So the first time he really has the opportunity to make this announcement is on Saturday. It's just a little bit curious because the president typically doesn't like to make big news on the weekend when there's fewer people watching. But they need to get this process moving if they want any chance of taking a vote before Election Day. So this is the first day the president can do it, and he's going to do it on that first moment he has.
Ben, I just want to switch gears a little bit and talk about the coronavirus. Johns Hopkins University says that the U.S. coronavirus death toll has now surpassed 200,000. It did that yesterday. I want to play some sound from the president responding to this news, and then we can talk after.
I think it's a horrible thing, but if we had not done it right, you could have 2 million, 2.5 million, or 3 million. But it's a horrible thing. Should have never, ever happened. China let this happen, and just remember that.
So you heard the president. He has consistently blamed China for this pandemic and also reinforced the idea that because of his administration's response, more people have not been afflicted with this virus and more people have not died. And at times the number of, how many people could have died really ranges. And we heard the top number there, but 3 million, I think is what he said. I'm curious at this point, when we're seeing more than 200 people killed, is this message working for the president?
So a couple of things on this front. I mean, yesterday, the president did not, on his own volition, ever mention the 200,000 lives lost. The only reason he was mentioning it there, where you saw that clip, was because he was asked repeatedly by reporters here at the White House before he left for a rally last night. He did not talk about it at the rally last night. In fact, he used a large part of that rally to make fun of Joe Biden for wearing a mask, which is one of the precautions we know you can take to actually prevent the spread of this and to help save some lives. In terms of whether it's working or not, I think that depends on whether you support President Trump or not. I think the people that he's talking to at a rally like that one last night, they're pretty much okay with anything he says. But polling does show that the handling of the coronavirus is one of the president's weak spots. That's why you've seen Joe Biden focus his campaign on the pandemic and the president's handling of it. Of course, now the president has pivoted to this Supreme Court pick, trying to take the focus off that topic. And, we should also mention that on this issue of the 200,000, the president once said that if deaths were kept below 200,000, that would be a sign that he did a good job. It's only in recent months where we realized that we would hit that number that the president has ratcheted that all the way up to 2.5 million, which is really, that's basically if the country did nothing, that's what they're saying would be the death toll. So now the president is using that as a barometer that he's kept it below that.
Ben, at his rally last night, the president continued to make promises that the vaccine is coming soon. I note that he has been tweeting Johnson & Johnson and other news organizations that are tweeting the information that Johnson & Johnson has begun the final stage of clinical trials to a coronavirus vaccine. The president in one of his tweets said FDA must act fast, which of course has a lot of people concerned that there may be some pressure from the White House on the FDA or others to rush a vaccine onto the market before it's ready. What are you hearing?
Yeah, so the president has made no secret about the fact that he wants the FDA to get this done as quickly as possible. As soon as there is a viable vaccine, he wants it approved under the emergency use authorization. The Johnson & Johnson news is good news. This is the fourth U.S. vaccine that is now in phase 3 trials where they start testing adults. And this one in particular is significant because this is a vaccine that potentially would only require 1 dose instead of 2. So it's considered a better candidate in some ways in terms of being able to more quickly vaccinate people. The other issue here is there are reports that the FDA is actually going to tighten its standards for approving a vaccine because of some of the concerns about political pressure on the FDA. That obviously is not going to go over well here at the White House, and you see hints of that already this morning with the president tweeting out that the FDA must act quickly. That is clearly a message sent to the FDA based on what the president has seen reported about their new standards.
Indeed. Ben Tracy for us at the White House. Ben, as always, my friend, thank you.
Thank you.